In case you've forgotten who Anna and Mursel is, we're about to get into something very interesting here. And it's kind of interesting because when it comes to 90 Day Fiance, there's always infidelity happening with a couple. But sometimes when it happens, we're like, we saw it coming. And other times we're like, what? I didn't see this coming. And when it comes to Anna and Mursel, I am definitely shocked by what I have seen here. Now, for the people who have forgotten, this is Mursel herself in particular, as you can see, as per his profile. And for the people who've forgotten, this is Anna herself as well, as per her profile. Now, they do share a child together. Now, this is a couple that was a 90 Day Fiance quite a while back. But either way, though, information has come out now regarding the fact that there has been some infidelity. So let's dive into exactly what's being said here. Anna comes into the comment section of one of Mursel's chats, or one of his posts, shall I say. And as you can see, someone simply asked him a question, where is your wife? She said, Mursel has never invited me to these. He said only men allowed, which is quite interesting, you see, because he says only men allowed. But in the post itself in particular, as you can see, there are two women right there. So that obviously tells us a lot, doesn't it? Also continues by saying, pretty sure women are in this photo, which is obviously what I've shown you lovely people. And obviously here someone comes in and says he lied. And she goes, I know, that's all he does. And ladies and gentlemen, we are only just warming up. We move on to the next one where she responds to someone else by saying, he cheated on me. He's not a good man. I will share everything soon. He goes to escorts and everything. So this man isn't only just cheating on Anna. He's actually using his own money to go and cheat on her. Honestly, I guess when it comes to infidelity, nothing is ever subjective. There is never something that makes sense to why this person decided to step out, okay? But to go out of your way to pay for it, that's a new extreme of infidelity. Because that really says that one, you clearly don't love your wife anymore. Two, you don't even want to touch her to the point that you now are going to go pay someone else. So it's not one of those situations where he was working, he bumped into another female and, something just happened. It's not even that case. It's a case of where literally this guy has gone out of his full way to pay. And remember, she used escort, plural, which is quite crazy. I've been with Mursel 8 years. I've never gone to an iftar. I believe in this is obviously some sort of meal or celebration that he does within his culture. Now, continues here. Now, this one itself in particular is where someone says, this is unfortunate, Anna, but I think there were red flags from the beginning. Perhaps you ignored them because he only has a job and skills, unlike your ex. For example, he put you in the position where you had to lie and cover things up for him because he couldn't face his family about your children. He also doesn't want to communicate or talk about any problems. He lacks emotional maturity, and at his age, this is a problem. You can't solve for him. Anyway, I hope you get over this and are in a better place. Which, to be fair, that is a very good comment and it's a very strong comment. And to be fair, this is why I said before that at the very beginning of a relationship, when you're getting to know someone, there are definitely signs that show this person has the ability or is actually moving mad. But because we want things to work, instead of paying attention to the signs of that person being moving mad and using those signs to put us in a position where we can be reality ready, well, what happens? We end up ignoring them and then we stay moving mad rather than becoming reality ready, which is so unfortunate. But let's continue though, because there is more. Now, as you can see, she does respond just to a comment here where she says he's a coward and a liar, which is obviously being evident here from what we have seen. It is quite unfortunate, because this is a couple that at least when they were on the show at the time when I watched them, based on my state of mind at the time, I would have said, okay, cool. It looks like these couple is a couple that can go somewhere. You know what I mean? It looks like there's a genuine connection and they have been together for 8 years. But it does make me wonder, out of the 8 years, how many times has he stepped out? When did he actually even begin to step out? But it's quite sad because she said that she's never been to any one of these dinner gatherings, which is quite frustrating and quite interesting at the same time, because you see, it's frustrating given the fact that she never saw that as an issue this whole time, that she's allowed that to happen throughout the 8 years, rather than being like, hold on a minute, this does not make sense. This is not right. I should be able to come with you. And also on top of that, the fact that she's got this knowledge of him paying women and so many other things that she hasn't said just yet regarding him, again, it makes me sit and I say to myself, why have you still stuck around? It's very unfortunate. And to be fair, given the fact that they both have children together as well, or a child together as well, it just makes things even more challenging, shall I say. But hey, when it comes to 90 Day Fiance, can we really expect any one of these people to ever be in a position where they can actually be reality ready? Unfortunately, it's very rare. Most of the time, they're always moving mad, which is very sad and pathetic and immature. Yeah. Well, I definitely want to know your thoughts, your opinions on the matter itself in particular, and we can most certainly talk about it. But with that being said, we are now going to move on to another topic. Now, this topic itself in particular is regarding Ross Matthews. Now, for some of you folks, you may know already that Ross Matthews has replaced Sean Robertson for this year's Tell-All of the Single Life. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he's replaced her for every single one of them, because you see, when it came to 90 Day Hunt for Love, we had a complete different host for that one. That was Suki. But when it came to the other show that was on at the time, Sean Robertson still came back for that one as well. So yeah, but right now people are under the influence that he has now gone by Sean. This is the influence that people have. Now, I will say this, I don't believe that it's a case of where Sean Robertson is out of the picture. I do believe that she's still there for the other shows. Like, for example, 90 Day Before the 90 Days, I believe that she will be the one to host it. But let's just have a look at what this person says here. This person says, this TV Insider tabloid clickbait is extremely misleading. It is not by Sean. Sean Robertson remains the main show host for all primary 90 Day Fiance iterations and is still an executive producer for all Tell-Alls. She is driving these de-allegations to ease up her schedule a bit. I mean, listen, to be honest with you, I think it's good that they're now switching it up. I think it's good that they're now having other people coming in and filling in those shoes, because us as viewers, it became rather exhausting having to see her on every single Tell-All. Why? Well, because she's terrible at it. that was the main reason why it became exhausting for us, because she's never been a good one. We've been waiting for her to be axed for a long time. Of course, we'll never be able to see her in a position where she's no longer a part of it, because she is a big part of the TLC brand. She's obviously an executive producer, so she's always going to be a part of it in some format. But it's good that at least now we are getting other people to have a turn at that job. Now, before we also disappear, let's talk about Stacey real quick. So Stacey shows off her new lips with dissolved filter. So let's dive in and see exactly how this is looking. So again, though, it's a filter, so we don't know 100% if this is how Stacey's lips are actually looking. But as you can see, she's obviously now going for the more slimmer looking lips, where she's removed, I believe, or dissolved the filler stuff in particular. But she is using a filter, which does make it a bit unclear. And it is quite strange that she's actually doing a thing with another man that happily wants to sit there topless. But hey, yeah, interesting stuff. But nonetheless, though, do you think that Stacey does look better, given the fact that, you know, these lips have been dissolved? Or do you think that, yeah, give me your thoughts on that one itself in particular. I don't have too much to say, if I do so say myself. But with that being said, I'll see you folks in tomorrow's episode of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. So please be here for that one. Hype the video on your way out, subscribe, like the video, and get busy in the comment section. Have a good day.